What's going on, everybody? Are you tired of mono green and mono white being able to turn their card sideways and roll right through your face on the ladder? Hi, my name is Swayze, and do I have the product for you? We call it Green Be Gone, also known as BOROS AGGRO. Cue the intro. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we have a BOROS AGGRO list that might as well be called the Green Destroyer, because that's exactly what this thing does. It has an aggro matchup paired perfectly for other aggro matchups. It is very, very good against those style of lists, and I cannot wait to break this thing down and talk about it for you. But before we do, as always, if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you enjoy the content, please be sure to subscribe. It's a free way to help support the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. And if you hit that little notification bell, you'll be notified whenever we post a video, which is 3 times a week, and whenever we go live on Wednesday nights. So be sure to hit that bell as well. All right, guys, let's talk about the list. Let's dive right into it, because like I said, this thing is really, really good in matchups against other aggro style matchups. But I will preface it by saying it's very bad against control matchups. So it's kind of like pick your poison. What's nice about this list, though, is that whenever you're playing an aggro style list on the Arena client, it seems to pair you against other aggro matchups, typically, for the most part. So you should have some pretty good success with this list. I was able to, run some really good games with it, and we had a lot of fun today. So I hope you enjoyed the gameplay content after the breakdown. But let's go ahead and talk about this and break this thing down. So how is it so good against green and white? Well, there's a lot of exiling effects. So we're kind of tempoing out our other aggro opponent by not exactly being more aggro than them, not exactly by getting bigger than them, more powerful than them. What we're doing is we're actually stealing their creatures one at a time, while still gaining slight value on the board and being able to go wider than our opponent. So how do we do that? Well, we started off with a 1-drop in Stonebinder's Familiar. Seeing we're going to be exiling a lot of things, this card is really good as our 1-drop slot because it's a 1/1 dog. What's great about it, though, is it gets bigger, and it gets bigger whenever we exile one of our opponent's permanents. So whenever we exile one of our opponent's things, it gets a +1/1 counter every single turn. And we, like I said, have tons of exiling effects. In our turn 2 slot, we have Luminarch Aspirant, as well as the Intrepid Adversary. Adversary. There's so many ways you can say this, I think, but adversary is how I'm going to say it. It's got lifelink. It's a 3/1. It's a 2-drop. Already pretty decent. The 1 toughness isn't great, but what's great about this card is it's really going to be our end game over the top, put 1/1 counters on everything, because it does have the ability to pay 2. Every time you pay 2 as it enters the battlefield, you get 1 counter on it, and for every 1 counter, all of your creatures get +1/+1. So this is a really good way to kind of close out a game and win it. Or if you need an early 2-drop, if your opponent's not aggressive and they're a control, style deck, it's okay to get this down on turn 2 and start building some life and dealing some damage early. Here's where the creatures start to get really fun and you start to gain a lot of value. We got a new card in Cathar. I'm sure everyone's seen this card by now. It exiles a permanent, just like our friend here, the Skyclave Apparition. They kind of serve the same purpose. They enter the battlefield. We're going to exile something, typically a mono green token of sorts. And then if our opponent doesn't play, spells on their turn, it can turn over to the other side, which is the Brute, which is going to be an even bigger creature. And if we somehow can turn it back on our turn, or vice versa, if this thing just transforms a couple of times, we can keep exiling things and get multiple turns of value out of it and multiple exiles out of it, which, ticks up our dog, which is great. But also the Brute side of this thing has a ward, pay 3 life, which is great because we're trying to be aggressive. We're trying to deal damage. So that ward ability is also really, really nice. Don't forget either, it has first strike when it does transform, which is also helpful. And like I said, we have the Apparition. Everyone knows the Apparition by now. Can also exile creatures. You give back illusion tokens when it dies, unlike the Cathar, which gives back the creature itself. But we do hit more, variety of things with the Apparition. We can hit the Asika's Chariot, things like that. So that's pretty good. We've also got the Stormseeker, another great card, and it pairs really well with the Cathar because we're trying to get things turned over to the night side and get these big werewolves that come out. And this thing has haste. It can give itself haste or it can give other creatures haste, which is great. So the variety, choice in giving your either Stormseeker when it comes down haste or your other creatures haste is really, really nice. That's all the new cards. And then we also have 4 portable holes, which helps us exile those early games and those tokens that are hard to deal with in mono green. We've also got a Showdown of the Scalds for some card draw. Here are the 2 cards that really make all the difference. We have Angel Fire Ignition, which was a suggestion from one of our stream viewers yesterday, and I really appreciate that because it helped a lot. This card is going to basically make our creatures awesome. They're going to make it indestructible, lifelink, put 2/1/1 counters on it. This card does it all. And you're free to swing in with your creature because it's going to have vigilance and at the same time indestructibility. So if you just need it to gain life, that's good enough. But it also has flashback. You can replay this thing. But here's the real kicker. If you can pair this with your Kaya's Onslaught, which you can foretell and play for 1 at instant speed to give your creature +1/1 in double strike, you've basically just created an Ember Cleave. This card right here is fantastic. I actually want to up this to 3 in the list. We didn't get to see, unfortunately, this combo go off. But I was able to do it on a game we didn't end up recording. Super powerful, and I think there's a place to run 3 of these in this list. So just be on the lookout for that. And then also 2 Den of the Bugbears as well, and 3 Snarls. So that's the list in a nutshell, though, guys. Let's get into the gameplay footage. There's some really good games coming up, and then we'll meet back here at the end for some final thoughts. We'll see you then. Peace. All right, here we go. Playing a bit of Boros today. Pretty excited about this. Pretty similar list to some that have already been ran, but there are some key differences in our list for sure. And I think we've tuned it up a little bit since the stream last night. We tried to run this list and you know, didn't have a whole lot of success with it, but we made some adjustments and we had some suggestions from viewers, and I think we got it in a spot now where I'm pretty happy with what we're seeing. So we're gonna showcase that today up against mono green first right away. Not too big of an issue, I hope. We have portable hole and an apparition right behind it, so we can grab up a couple of these creatures back to back, which is phenomenal. The only thing is hopefully they don't have Blizzard Brawl in hand ready to go. Interesting. Another Sentinel's not something I would prefer to grab here with an apparition, but at the same time, maybe not. Maybe we just go Stormseeker here. Let's just go Stormseeker, get in for 3, pressure them a little bit, and make them have to play something actually worthwhile of grabbing. They find a land. I can't remember if they went first or I went first, but that's definitely worth hitting with an apparition for sure, because that old girl troll can come back and be a nuisance. So we are definitely going to be grabbing that. And we can swing in with the apparition here for 3/2. But if they choose to double block here with the Sentinels on the apparition, they get back, you know, a 3/3. And I can't have that, so let's just get in there. Let's portable hole one of these Sentinels, hopefully this turn. They might play a Seeker's Chariot, though, something like that. The Ignition's going to be nice because it gives basically everything under the sun except for double strike. And we'll be getting in there for some lifelink, man. Professor, huh? You're playing the Gnarled Professor. Interesting choice. Interesting choice. And they go and grab a way to exile my creature, but at the same time, giving me a card. So there's the Blizzard Brawl we were hoping they didn't have. Yikes. Okay. Interesting. How do we handle this? Well, we could pump everything up with the adversary, I'm sorry. And if we pump it up, it gets the 1/1 counter, making it a 3/4, coming in for a 4/4 attack, which would kill the Gnarled Professor if they decided to make that trade. Or I can go double Stormseeker, I think. I think double Stormseeker here. We take the 3/3 away from them. And then we use both Stormseekers to pump the same one here. Get in for an attack. They trade. Perfect. All right. Takes care of that. We could play an adversary next turn and Angel Ignition, or I'm sorry, Angel Fire Ignition it if they allow it, but and if we get a land. Nice, that's a good top deck actually. I think that's a little bit of a no-brainer here. Kind of in the same boat we were in previously with the 2 sentinels out there. Don't want the apparition to run into those, so gonna just swing in here. We're chipping away at them, so pretty happy about that. All right, they exile it. I get a card though, which is really nice. Nice, and it's a Cathar, which steals that 4/4 token easily. Cathar, and there's the scoop. Wow, they did not like that Cathar. I don't blame them. Just that's the beauty of this list, being able to just exile things, and they can just never stop it. It's quite annoying. Well, that was super unfortunate. We just won another game against mono white, and gosh darn it, that elusive record button. That record button got me again. We had such a good game too, man. I was so excited to showcase that one. We were able to use the onslaught plus the angel fire ignition comboed. So unfortunate, man. Little mistakes, little recording mistakes, you know. You think you hit the record button, you think you know a guy. Well, at least we know the deck has an extra win under its belt, so it's doing well. And we beat mono green, which is phenomenal, and mono white, 2 of some of the top lists out there. So liking how we're starting out. This is definitely going to be another mono green list, I'm assuming, and got to look out for Blizzard Brawl. So we got to get our aspirant as big as possible before Blizzard Brawl comes down and ruins the party. I think we just play the familiar here. Like I said, get the aspirant as big as possible. Don't let it become susceptible to that Blizzard Brawl attack. We got to keep getting it bigger and bigger. That's typically the only way they can remove things off the field. Plus, they would need a creature to do so. So me being able to exile their creatures is nice. Lotus Cobra is interesting. It makes me think that this might be like a Selesnya or a Nihilist, but they just pulled more green with that. So I'm not too sure. Aspiring or Apparition can hit the Asika's Chariot when it comes down, so let's go ahead and play the Cathar instead. Snakeskin Veil. You dirty dog. You dirty dog. That's fine. They saved their Lotus Cobra with the Snakeskin Veil, honestly, if I'm being completely brutally honest. I don't think that was the play. Not what I would have done. It's not like Lotus Cobra is going to be doing a whole lot other than getting him more mana, which is cool, but it does get their Ren and 7 out early here, but I just think there's better things they could have grabbed, if I'm being completely honest. Or saved. Oh, and it's a Blizzard Brawl. Nice. And it's only big enough because of the Snakeskin Veil. Savage. All right, we have a way to answer the Asika's Chariot, kind of, so not too worried about that. Now this says whenever one or more cards is put into exile. So it works for anything. We can apparition to the Chariot and we still get the 1/1 counter. It doesn't necessarily have to be a creature, so this works out just fine. All right, Chariot gone. Our familiar goes up to a 2/2. And as of where we are right now, we're kind of winning the battle. So I could put some pressure on them with the creatures I have now, but yeah, I think I'm gonna swing just one here. I'll give them the option to trade. Yeah, they take it. Okay. I want to keep the Cathar alive though, because if we decide to not play anything and transform it, we can go back to the Cathar and try to exile something again. And with the Ren and 7 coming down and these tokens, the Cathar is going to be kind of our saving grace. Another Cathar is pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet, I can't lie. Gosh, it's so hard for me not to do anything and turn this into a wolf. I feel like... Oh... man. Do I give him one turn swinging in with the tree folk? I feel like I don't know. Blizzard Brawl is such a thing that it just stresses me out. Yeah, I'm so afraid of Blizzard Brawl. I'm gonna play the Showdown. And we top deck a very good card in Portable Hole. About as good as a card as I can ask for at the moment. Super glad I did it that way. That worked out really nicely. You're answering all the problems at the moment. This is good. Might play the other Showdown here just so I don't lose it. We'll see. All right, there goes another Blizzard Brawl and an Asika's Chariot. Two of the most dangerous cards, honestly, that we can go against. So I'm happy with that. Let's not forget either that they can activate the Faceless Haven. I might actually throw a few Field of Ruins into the list now that I think about it. Might be worth it. Another Cobra, not that big of a problem for us, but still annoying. 2 lands in hand and 1 extra card we just don't know about yet. All right, we give him that. We give them that. Let's just keep pumping up the Cathar because it's something that if we lose, we can, you know, we don't give them back any sort of spells or creatures, so it's totally worth it. I'm going to lose the advisory if I don't play it now, but I really think I should be playing the Cathar here instead. Man. Yeah, I don't think I play the advisory yet. Or the adversary. I keep saying advisory. Adversary. Adversary, advisory, adversary. One of those things. All right, so if they double block my Cathar here, they actually can kill it. But is that a trade I'm willing to make? Am I willing to make that trade? I don't think so. We give out the adversary. Angel Fire Ignition is still in play. We give that to the Cathar, obviously. Next turn, we get back a ton of health. It'll be a 6/6 going in for lifelink, which is phenomenal. Did we really just draw another Scalds too, by the way? I noticed it, but I didn't notice it. You know what I'm saying? All right, that's annoying. That's annoying because they could start with the whole copying the 7/7s each turn if I can't find a way to exile it. Super annoying. All right. Looks like they're considering activating it, which would be a little silly. This guy's summoning sickness. Okay, they activate it. They think that they can attack, maybe? I don't know. What exactly was their plan there? I think they honestly thought they could attack. I mean, throwing the cat into me is fine. Not 100% sure if our opponent knows what's happening. It's fine though. It's fine. All right. Let's play Ignition into... I don't know. Do I Skulls into the Ignition? Adversary is sweet, right? It does give my things all a big buff, right? And it is lifelink. But if I lose the Scalds, that's probably worse, honestly. I think I should be playing the Scalds and just keep stacking them. Because we're getting 1/1 counters for all of these too, which is really, really nice. Another Cathar. Very cool. Very cool. I throw the Cathar down. I could steal the 7/7 this turn. But I am going to lose the Angel Fire Ignition. And when we lose the cards, they're exiled. So they're gone for good. So I think I have to play the ignition this turn. I have to. This is going to be so much life gain. And next turn we can do the same thing. So, I mean, we can't pass that up, can we? There's no way we can pass that up. And then next turn, oh, they take the block. I love it. Oh, they have no idea I'm indestructible though. I love this. Unless they're really just trying to mitigate all the damage and not take the trample. Wow, they actually block both. Feels bad, man. Ay, ay, ay. No tree folk for them to copy anymore. You'd love to see it. And then I have 2 exiling effects next turn. I steal the Seeker's Chariot. Yeah, they definitely didn't know I had indestructibility. That's one of those moments where you see a, you see a card for the first time. You kind of skim it. You kind of have an idea of what it does, but you don't read it fully. I've been there. I've been there. I'm absolutely loving the list so far. I really wish I would have got the second game on record, but it's fine. I wanted to showcase it. It was such a really cool game. I want to get that double strike going for you guys and show you guys just how game changing it can be. Let's see here. Opening hand seems pretty legit. Too legit to quit, so gotta keep it. Another mono white list. Okay, so getting a variety here. Or not a variety, but getting the same 2 decks over and over again, which is pretty common, unfortunately. All right, so whenever it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it in your hand, and it has a coven that says transform. Got it. Okay. Alrighty. So it can transform into a 3/3 lifelinker. Not too scared about that, but we'll see how that ends up coming about. I don't think coven is something that people are going to hit very often, if at all. So I'm not too worried about it. This is going to allow them to gain an extra life each turn. I might want to take care of that with one of these. Not sure yet. I think I get aggressive though. I'm afraid of things like Doomscar because when we're talking about a life gain deck, things like Doomscar are very, very much on the table. But I think we're okay right now to just keep applying pressure. We got to look out for angels, Righteous Valkyrie, things like that. And those are going to be the things we're going to want to hit with our apparition. So let's just wait and see. There's some angel stuff. This is going to allow them to draw cards based on their life total, right? So basically this card says note your life total, and if it changes, draw a card equal to your life. The difference. Wait. Draw a life greater than equal to the last note total. Yeah, okay. Got it. They say good game. I love when people say good game. Because I don't know if that was meant for me, like good game, I got you, fool, because you're reading my card, but in your face if that's the case. If that's not the case, I'm sorry. Good game. I feel like this game needs to add a lot more emote options for you. Some quick chat, hot keywords, whatever. Because good game is just so like, did they give up, or are they making like, are they getting a little cocky? You know what I'm saying? You never really know. Play the familiar. The familiar activates with all of our exiling effects, which we have 3 in hand. We're seeing some red here, which typically means creatures, which is good. We want to see some creatures. Maybe it might be a goblin deck. We haven't seen one of those in a little while. No, is it? I should have expected that, to be honest. They played the expressive iteration on turn 2 after they played their land. They're not going to get full value here. Throwing away a land. I love having a Spirant in the opening hand, especially for situations like this where it's like you don't have anything that you're going to be able to exile for a while. And so the cards that, have exiling effects on them are pretty dead, to be honest, in a control matchup. So things like a Spirant is really, really helpful. I may want to up the number of creature lands in my deck. I'm not sure, but control is definitely something we don't want to run into. It's not like control is really a big share of the meta right now, except for Izzet. Izzet is definitely out there, but it's just it's not good for us, that's for sure. Control is tough. Just no targets to hit with our Apparitions and Cathars. Angel Fire Ignition would be nice, but even then, Angel Fire Ignition kind of scary because it's like, is it going to get countered? You never know. I just have to throw down an Apparition here just to get some damage through. Get a little more aggressive. We have a terrible, terrible hand. I can't lie. We're top decking like absolute garbage. Prismari command swiftly handles these. Instant sorcery card from among them. Put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Got it. Okay. Well, I mean, we can keep it going. I am afraid of sweepers because we do have to worry about things like Battle of Frost and Fire, burn the house down, burn down a house, or, you know, even Cinderclasm, which nobody really runs, but could be a possibility. Which nobody runs, but could be a possibility. Silly, silly. All right. We'll just keep playing these 2/2s. I'm going to keep playing these 2/2s. Eventually they'll get you. Good thing about Cathar is that if they don't play anything here and they want to play some instant speed magic, that's fine by me. They main phase the Deluge. Don't blame them. Don't blame them. They're thinking about it, which is good for us. It means it's not an obvious choice, which typically means good, you know, good for us. Gosh darn it, man. They have the fleeting hope here, or the fading hope here. Super unfortunate. Fading hope coming down. Yep, yep. We knew that was gonna happen. It's all good. All right, pass the turn. Let's hope they don't play anything. I really want this to transform, man. If we can get it to transform and get really aggressive, that would be nice. I don't know if this is gonna be our game. I know I keep saying that, but I really don't. It's gonna be hard to beat things that, you know, you can't. You're not getting any value off the exile. The creatures aren't exactly like big chunky creatures that smash your opponent and are super aggressive. Our deck is really good because it's like more of a mid-rangey thing where we steal your creatures and we tempo out, and we're just not doing that against control. It's just not happening. So our 2/2s are just never going to be enough to get the job done by themselves, especially when they start removing and bouncing and doing all the weirdness. But hey, we turned it to nighttime. Nope, we did not. Wait, yes we did. Yes we did. And they grabbed the negate. Okay. Negate's not super great against us. I mean, in this particular instance, it's actually pretty good, but in most cases, it wouldn't be that good against us. It's nice though, because the Brute does have ward 3 to deal, you know, the 3 damage ward, which is nice. Kind of like the Sedgemoor Witch. If they play another spell here though, okay, good. I was gonna say, if they played another spell here, we're in trouble, but all right, let's play the Apparition, see what happens here. I'm sure it's gonna get countered or bounced or divided, something like that. No? All right, we do have to remember Cinderclasm again is still out there. Could hit the Apparition, but won't kill the Brute. Our Cathar is safe from that card at least, but again, we're looking at things like Divide. You know, I should have probably attacked there first, because if they divide this and I have to replay it, it's going to actually turn off the night mechanic and go back to day. So they do divide it, but at least they take 3 on the way. But unfortunately, Cathar comes back down as Cathar. You typically wouldn't want, like, you wouldn't be too upset about that, but in this instance, I am actually pretty upset about that because now it's daytime. Should have not played the Apparition, man. I should have done that. I'm surprised we gotten as far as we have so far. If we can find a Den of the Bugbear, we could be in even better shape. Alrund's Epiphany. Okay. At least those are targets from my portable holes, at least, I guess. And they gained a little bit of life too off the environmental sciences. May not seem like a lot, but 2 life right now could be the game changer, to be honest. It's a very interesting card, to be honest, this Arcane. It's, you know, a lot of card advantage for sure. If you're, especially if your deck's made up of entirely instant sorcery cards, it's not bad at all. They find a Cinderclasm. Yikes. Yikes. That's not good. They kill their own birds though without attacking. That's a win. All right, well, we can get this down. Pump it twice. See if they got something for that. It's too big for a Cinderclasm, but I'm sure there's plenty of burn in their deck that can handle a 3 power or 3 toughness creature. Divide's also a thing, which would really kind of stink because it's, you know, a measly 3 mana. They're bouncing this back to my hand, which would be a nightmare. But like I said, this is just not our matchup, and I'm totally okay with that. With this loss, it's just some things don't line up very nicely. Demon Bolt. Oh goodness, that's good enough. Demon Bolt is good enough. I thought that was Cinderclasm. The look of the card is similar, but it's a Demon Bolt, so our adversary's gone. Yep, they got it. Not sure what took them so long there, but they got it. Hey, I'll take that. Oh, the negate though. The negate. Oh, the negate. You gotta be kidding me. And the problem with this is that no matter what happens, there's almost no chance that we're gonna have an opportunity where they're tapped out fully on blue. They have so much mana to work with. That's just so unfortunate. There's really no point in playing it. I mean, like I just said, we're gonna get the negated. There's an argument to be made to get it out of their hand and make it happen, but I don't know, man. It just seems like a waste, to be honest. You never know. There's a very small chance we can catch them slipping. They tap out. We get the Scalds down. We'll see. I need the Storm Chaser, man. Something with haste that can catch them off guard, and the fact that we're in night right now is really good. But they actually just cast their second spell, so scratch what I just said. Let's hope they play an iteration here. No, they leave mana open for the negate again. They've just got way too much mana to work with, to be completely honest with you. There's a Den of the Bugbear. That's not bad. I can start pressuring them a bit. Also, I could throw down some portable holes against their little 1/1s that they are probably going to put those in front of my Den of the Bugbear. So I throw these out there to take them away, and we might see a negate off of it. All right, they're going to go ahead and copy some spells here. They're copying Alrund's Epiphany. Not a bad spell to copy. I mean, for the sake of the video, I feel like we have to continue this game out, but I feel like I should probably just concede, to be honest. I don't see how we win this game, but we're going to play it out. We're going to play it out because you never know. And we're recording, so let's see how this goes. We've had a lot of really good games up until this point, though, and I really like how the deck's been playing. I knew eventually we'd hit a control matchup, though, and be in a little bit of a troubled situation, but hey, they tapped down to 1 blue, but they have an extra turn, I forgot. And they just drew another Alrund's Epiphany, so that should about do it. That just should do it right here. Oh, and then another copy spell too. So they're getting another 2 turns. Yeah. I think it's pretty clear that we lost here, guys, and I apologize if some of you guys wanted to see this game play out, but they're doing their thing, and we're not doing ours yet. They still have 2 more turns to go. That's more than enough for lethal, so we will concede. We will concede. Ouch. That's okay, though. I mean, 4 wins before a loss isn't terrible. Let's keep it going. All right, let's see if we can close this out, man. Let's see. I really want to. I want to get that double strike playoff for you guys so you can see it. So disappointed in myself. It's such a cool combo, man. You foretell that double strike, you come in for 1 at instant speed and just run over your opponent's creature and gain a ton of life, basically hitting Ember Cleave. Really, really good. Solid first hand. We have the turn 2, turn 3 combo wombo. If only we had the familiar, but beggars can't be choosers. Let's go. All right, more mana. So the Shatter Skull Smashing definitely on the table as an actual removal spell this game. All right, being a turn behind them with mono greens gonna be tough. This is not bad. There's the onslaught we've been looking for. Do we go though for the aspirant? I feel like we're just gonna get Blizzard Brawled. So I guess this is better to get Blizzard Brawled than, you know, our Cathar or our Apparition though, so let's just do it. Go ahead. We know you got it. You always do. Okay. So you're saying there's a chance. I am going to take the Apparition over the Cathar here because if we do get Blizzard Brawled, I'd rather them get back a 3/3 Spirit instead of a instead of the actual Old Girl Troll. No attacks. And me not attacking here is basically giving them a warning that I am willing to block. I don't know if they're going to care though. Let's find out. I am going to block it though, for sure. Oh, it's Blizzard Brawl. Look at that. It's the old Blizzard Brawl back in action. Yikes. Portable Hole is really good here. It's really good. All right, Cathar. I really don't want to give them back the werewolf. And we're going to have a creature that's bigger than them in a moment here. So let's just go ahead and take these tokens out of here. You take away Mono Green's tokens, you take away their toys, you know? Not much they can do. And now we're bigger than their pack leader again, but they just need to pump their ranger class and that solves that problem. If I can just foretell Kaya's onslaught, we're going to be in such good shape. Of course, they refueled their board state immediately thanks to the Asika's Chariot. We could do this for 3, which would kill pack leader, but let's just keep making this bigger. I'm making it, you know, too big for them to actually kill or run through or Blizzard Brawl. We gotta be able to avoid all those things, you know. No attacks. By the way, if we do get Blizzard Brawled, I'm actually curious to know if we give double strike. Let me read the Blizzard Brawl real quick. Entire creature you don't control, if the... Okay, yeah, I get indestructible. Yeah, there you go. Then those creatures fight each other. So having double strike during a fight, you know, I believe still works. So we need to be ready to play Kaya's Onslaught to any sort of fight spell or something of that nature. They're gonna bring down a Seeker's Chariot for 1 cat token, huh? I guess because they get the 1/1 counter from the Ranger class, I don't think I'll trade. But we have a pretty solid answer here. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So we're gonna give the double strike to our Brute. Which then would kill their pack leader, which stops their card draw. We killed their Asika's Chariot. Now they're just left with a bunch of cat tokens. They have 1 mana spell. Is it a Snakeskin Veil? I suppose they could tap their cat for... No, they can't tap their cat. It's got Summoning Sickness. Yeah, it's got to be Snakeskin Veil. I guess the Lair of the Hydra actually triggers priority even with no mana. Yeah, I think that's what's holding up the priority here. I think we're okay. Obviously, Snakeskin Veil would be really bad, but nice. And we draw a land off the top. That's actually so huge. Yeah, let's do it like that. I don't need them getting any more mana. I wanted to kill the 2 cats, but I think Sentinel's fine to kill Sentinel. All right, let's put some pressure on our opponent here. I know I'm kind of asking for it by swinging in all here because obviously our opponent can answer back and come in with their own cats, potentially a land. But I like our odds here. Okay, good. We're looking fine here. This is fine. I hope they don't attack here. They do. The reason I didn't want them to attack there is because now our Shatter Skull Smashing is not as good. Nice. That's actually perfect. Oh, I could just transform again, couldn't I? But I think this is actually more important. I don't know. I don't actually know what I want to do here. I don't know if I want to cast this on the old girl troll because they're going to get ramp. I think that's fine. They only have 1 card in hand. They only have 1 card in hand, and they're not going to be able to bring back that troll for another turn or so. So I think we do that. We put them down to, you know, a lethal warning. Warning. Lethal. Ah, man. Okay. Just more I got to try to get through. More bodies that are big, and then I have to try to get my creatures through. I could have just got an exiling effect there. That would have been great. I could attack here, right? I really could, but if I don't, I actually transform Cathar, and Cathar gets first strike, which stops their tree folk from being able to attack. So I think I'm okay with just ending the turn. Let's just hold the land as if I have some sort of instant speed play. They lose 3 Kazandu Mammoths. Shuffler's fine. Shuffler is top notch. Okay. They're gonna bring in the troll now. Is that right? Am I seeing this correctly? Man, if I could just get an ignition off the top of our deck. Oh my god, that would be so good. Ignition would solve all of my problems. So would any sort of exiling effect, but... Alright, so yeah, I think they're just debating on whether or not to bring in the troll or, you know, hit the ranger class for level 3. They're thinking, man, this is an intense game. For sure. They can't target the brute either. If they target the brute, they are screwed because it has ward. Brutal Cathar does not exile anything when it comes in because when the creature enters the battlefield or transforms into... Oh, it actually does exile? Let me see here. I think we might be able to exile here. No. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right. Let's go with... you. And if I attack here and send both of these in, they'd have to block. They could chump block though with the 2 smaller creatures, and then next turn come in with their 6/6 and potentially the layer of the Hydra. That's not lethal on me. They create another tree folk though. I think I attack here. I don't know if it's the exact correct answer here, but I think I do attack here. And they actually take the tree folk trade. Interesting. Very interesting. So they're definitely going to create another tree folk with their Ren. Like there's no way out of it. They're going to have to. Them killing the Aspirant is actually pretty bad for us. I'm not going to lie, but I honestly didn't think they were going to take that trade, but thought they were going to chump for sure. Wow, they plus. So are they going to hold mana open then so that they can activate a creature land? We have them in a really bad spot, and the reason being is because our brutes have the ward pay 3 life, right? That's like the worst possible thing they can have, because they can't target them with Blizzard Brawl and get rid of them or anything like that. And on top of that, if they play 2 spells here, they just transform, exiling their board state, and then we win the game that way. All right, that should be game. That should be game. Good game, my friend. What an intense one against mono green. Yikes. This deck is definitely a mono green, mono white killer though, for sure. It's such an all-star against those 2 decks, but anything else it might see some struggling, but good freaking games, man. That's gonna do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. I hope you enjoyed the gameplays, man. This is a very, very powerful and cool list. The only downside, like I said prior into the video, is I'm sure you guys saw, does not do well at all against control matchups. Our ability to exile things just isn't there, so there's no value being gained through the exiling effects, and it's not like our creatures are very big and really fast to get in and get these control matchups dead fast. So you're gonna struggle in that arena, and I don't know the answer to how to fix that, but as always, at the end of these videos we break these things down, we talk about it. We always like to ask that, if you guys have any ideas on how to make the deck better or even more well-rounded against those control matchups, please by all means leave it in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts on the deck and how to make it better. But ultimately, like I said, your matchups are typically going to be against other aggro lists because of the algorithm that the Arena client is on, and you should have some pretty good success with this. You should be able to put together a pretty good win rate. On top of that, aggro is pretty much, always going to be part of the meta share. I mean, the majority of the meta share in best of 1. So you should have a lot of success with this list. But yeah, I liked it a lot as far as changes that I would make. Shatter Skull Smashing didn't make too much of an impact on the list. So what I was actually considering is I would actually potentially switch my mana over to Snowland and maybe make this into a Frostbite situation. And then on top of that, I would like to add one more Onslaught to the list because this comboing off is so good and can win you games like that. So those are 2 things that I really want to do to the deck. I also don't think the Intrepid Adversary was very good. It didn't really do much, if anything, for us, honestly. And so I think we can find a better card for that position as well. Potentially another creature. There is a Coven style creature that also works off of the exiling abilities. This one right here, the Sentinel. And then whenever it attacks, whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile 1 target card from a graveyard, which is very helpful when you're talking about the familiar getting bigger. But I didn't think it was that great. I don't think it worked phenomenally with the deck. I didn't think it had like a crazy impact with the deck, but at the same time, having the ability to exile things with flashback could be really good because there's a lot of flashback cards out there right now, especially these control lists. So it might be the best choice when you're going up against control, but I'm not too sure. That's all I have to say personally about the deck. I liked it a lot. I think it could be tinkered with, obviously, and made a little bit better. So as always, your thoughts below in the comments are very helpful and I really appreciate them. Before I go though, as always, I want to give a couple of shout outs to all of you guys who have made it this far into the video. I really appreciate you so much for doing so, because whenever you make it this far in the video, it helps the algorithm. It pushes the video out to more people. So thank you so much for that. And to my Marty mob, especially the Marty mob, man, I want to thank you guys as always, you know, from the bottom of my heart personally, for all you do for my channel. Your memberships help my channel grow financially, which ultimately to this becoming a full-time thing down the road. So thank you so much. And your support means everything to me. And I hope you guys are enjoying your memberships. And if you want to become a member of the channel and become part of the Marty mob, feel free to hit that join button or the link in the description below. It'll give you a lot more information on what it is you get for becoming part of the Marty mob. And I'd really appreciate that. I think that's going to close out today's video. If you liked it, like the video, subscribe, all that nonsense. I'd really appreciate that. And we'll see you guys back here on Monday for another list. Hopefully, I'm hoping by Monday we'll be in Mythic and ready to go for you guys and get you guys some really cool Mythic lists. So be on the lookout for that. And we'll see you next time, guys. Until then, peace.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Swayze, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. Where's the upload, man? Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap.